Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm your DJ and host, Sam Wilson Jr., and I'm here to bring you the history genre of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the history genre destination of black music. Right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show. And this gentleman that I'm about to introduce to you is from the Midwest, representing the state of Texas and Oklahoma. He is an independent hip hop artist. He writes, raps, and mix and master his own music. Please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Mayheme Shahid. Hi, Mayheme. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fine, and you? Welcome to my podcast. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to have a wonderful conversation. We're going to talk about some of the things that you're doing a little bit later on in this podcast. So, in the meantime, America doesn't know who you are. The world doesn't know who you are. So, we would like to get to know you. So, let us begin, shall we? Now, where were you born?
I was born in Quanah, Texas.
And how far is it from Houston and Dallas?
I would say Houston's about 8 hours. Dallas is about 4 to 6 hours.
Now, were your parents in the music industry or did they had 9 to 5 day jobs?
They were 9 to 5, man.
And which high school did you go to?
Altus High.
And which college did you go to?
I attended college online at Wyndham.
And what was your major in college?
Business, computer information systems, and music.
Now, how old were you when you started playing musical instruments?
I want to say about 11 or 12.
Was being a singer and songwriter and musician your calling?
No. Actually, a speaker was my calling. Music is just the avenue I use to get the message out.
Now, growing up, what were some of your favorite music video shows from back in the day?
I want to say Your MTV Raps, BET's The Basement with Big Tigger. Because when I was coming up, we had cables, in the 80s and 90s, but I can remember we didn't have hip-hop music on the radio, so.
Now, as for me, we didn't have cable back in the 80s, so we had some other local shows back then. So, like on Friday night, NBC would have Friday night videos. It would come on Friday night right after Johnny Carson. And on Friday night, ABC had ABC Rocks, and that came on at midnight right after ABC News Nightline. And then at 12:30 in the NYC, ABC 7 New York would have New York Hot Tracks. And then some of the rest of the other local stations in syndication and across the country, they will have their own video shows back then. But then by 1990, when we had cable, you had VH1, MTV, and BET. We was watching all those music videos nonstop. And then, like, I had to go to work the next day, like 1 in the morning. And then on Friday nights, I would stay up until like 1:30, 2 in the morning, and I won't be getting up until like Saturday morning after I'll be watching Soul Train and American Bandstand. I'll be watching some of the other video shows. You mentioned Yo MTV Raps, and then BET would have Rap City, and so many other shows back then. Now, growing up, who was some of your favorite hip hop performers?
Oh, that's a good question there, man. I want to say growing up, my favorite hip hop influences were people like Tupac. I want to say Biggie Smalls. You know, actually, I had a lot of hip hop influences growing up because I got to grow up in the golden era where you can always understand the words coming out of the artist's mouth, not like it is today.
Now, who were your hip hop musical influences?
Um, I gotta say Tupac, uh, Easy E, Scarface, Nemesis, uh, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Man, there's so many, like I can't just name them all. I'll probably take a lot of your time doing that.
Now, you've been in prison twice for what charges?
The first time I went was for uh, aggravated assault, and the second time I went was for felony possession of a firearm.
Now, did music save your life while you was in prison?
It did. It actually did, man, because I could use the music to get away.
And how old are you now?
I'm 48.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you, man. I just turned 48 January 12th.
Now, hip hop has been changing through the years. What do you see of hip hop in the future?
Um, I would say just more prosperity. I mean, if you turn on the TV, you got hip hop in a commercial nowadays. So, we're pretty much everywhere.
Okay. Now, have you ever thought about doing your own record label in the future?
I have actually. I have.
Now, what would you be doing now? Rapping, writing, or both?
Man, I gotta say both. Um, you know, it's just a passion for me. I like writing. You know, sometimes what I write is good. Sometimes other people understand it better than I do. So,
Now, here's a question that I always ask my guests: living or dead, who are some of your favorite hip hop artists you wish you wanted to meet or to perform with?
um, I gotta say Tupac first and foremost. Biggie Smalls. Um, I would say Easy E also. Um, living, I'd like to work with artists like Big Ace the Plug, that Mexican OT, Uncle Scarface. I mean, he still do music too. Or I would want to definitely do something with Uncle Face. Um, yeah, I just feel like the music business is thriving now. Today more than it has been lately.
Okay. Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who is the top 10 R&B black artist of all time. Now, since I have you, Mayhem, we're going to be doing the Black Soul Music Experience top 10 hip hop artists of all time. Now, here's how it works. We started like a top 10 countdown. We start at number 10 or the bottom five. We start at number 10 and we will find out who was the best rapper but didn't get any recognition. That will be the bottom five. When we get to the top five, we will find out who was the best hip hop artist of all time. Did that artist receive any top 10 or number one hits? that that artist's album had gold or platinum or double platinum or triple platinum, or today we got diamond platinum. That that artist received an American Music Award or a Grammy Award or a Soul Train Award or a BET Award or an MTV VMA Award, or that that artist was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that that artist performed on American Bandstand, Soul Train, The Midnight Special, or NBC Saturday Night Live, or did that artist perform or when they had their own primetime special, whether it's CBS, NBC, or ABC, or did they had their own live special concert on HBO or Showtime? So, Mahim, are you ready to take the challenge?
I'm ready.
Okay. Who should be at number 10?
I want to say Easy E should be at number 10.
All right. Easy E, one of the co founders of NWA and also the founder of Ruthless Records. So they had some hits back then. And yes, some of their songs couldn't be played on the radio stations nor on network TV during the music videos. But, there's an old saying, controversy sells. So Easy E had his own group and everything. So they had some hits. So we're gonna put Easy E at number 10. So rest in peace to Easy E. All right, who should be at number 9?
I want to say Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Ah, yes, Sir Mix-a-Lot. We haven't heard from him in a while, not since 1992 with that video, Baby Got Back. When I saw that music video on MTV, I've seen the intro. I saw those two white valley girls that say, "Oh my God, look at her butt. It's so big." Oh my goodness. I had to laugh at that intro. And, that was his only number one hit. He won an American Music Award for that song. So, we haven't heard from him in a while, but he'll be best remembered for that song. Some say it's called a one hit wonder. He had a couple of hits later on, but nothing can compare to that song. So that will put Sir Mix-a-Lot at number 9. All right, who should be at number 8?
I want to say at number 8, and a lot of people don't even know who this guy is, but he actually helped a lot of artists from Memphis get on. There's a guy named Tony Draper. He was the founder of Suave House Records.
Okay, Tony Draper. Okay, I never heard of him before, and you mentioned the record label that he had founded, so we'll put him there at number 8. Okay, who should be at number 7?
I would say for number 7, I want to say Nemesis. They're a Dallas-based hip hop group. They came out in the early '90s, probably late '80s, and most of their music just reverted off of bass.
Okay, we'll put Nemesis at number 7. I never heard of the group before, but we'll put Nemesis at number 7. All right, who should be at number 6?
I would say at number 6, I gotta say as a group, Wu-Tang Clan.
Ah, yes, representing Staten Island, New York, Wu Tang Clan. They made their debut back in 1993. I remember the group when they first came out with their music video with the song MATHOD, man. Yeah, they had everybody Method Man, the RZA, Raekwon, and Old Dirty Bastard, just to name a few. They had songs including.
Them there is because uh, some of their artists today are still doing music. Like Method Man's gearing up to drop an album anytime this year. So I had to put them in there.
Okay, yes. As I mentioned, they had their song Method Man and Cash Rules Everything Around Me or Cream. And, just to name a few, they had those songs nonstop. So we'll put Wu Tang Clan at number six. All right, who should be at number five?
I want to say at number five, I gotta say Ice Cube in himself, not as far as with the group NWA. I just gotta say Ice Cube in itself.
Okay, we'll put Ice Cube at number five, and yes, he started with NWA, but then when he broke out on his own, on his solo, I mean, he was just churning out hits. Back in the '90s, I can just name a few. Today it was a good day. You better check yourself, boo. You know how we do it. You know, just to name a few. The best, yes, the best song that I like, you know, back in 1993 was "Today Was a Good Day." That song tells a story, and just start off your day. No gun. You don't need no gun to start shooting at nobody. Minding your own business.
You're gonna enjoy it, and soak up what's going on versus looking for the drama.
Yes, and when I saw that music video, especially at the end, by the time he get back home, you see all the cops, everybody, the cops, all around the cars and the helicopters. It was like, what's
We've been looking for you all day while you was having a good day.
yeah? I said to myself, what's going on here? Just minding your own business. And then we get to the sequel. It had the song called "Check Yourself" and and everything. So that was like a sequel to that song. So we're gonna put Ice Cube at number five. And not only he raps, but he also acts. He was in the movie Boys in the Hood in his motion picture debut, and also Higher Learning, and the other movie that he wrote and directed and starred in it, The Players Club. It had an all-star cast: the late Bernie Mac, Alex Thomas, just to name a few. And yes, he had that other movie called Are We There Yet that later became a TV series. And of course the Friday franchise, parts one, two, and three. So we gotta give it up for Ice Cube. Ice Cube.
Because I just watched one of the Friday shows about 45 minutes before we started conducting this interview.
Yes, so we're gonna put Ice Cube at number five. All right, who should be at number four?
I gotta say DMX.
Ah, yes, upstate New York DMX. He had some hits. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. Best known for that. He had some journal hits back in the late '90s, early 2000s, but he had to go through some trials and tribulations. He passed.
I think that's why I really put him where I put him at because I could relate to a lot of trials and tribulations that he had to go through. Even after the solidarity of his name is being a brand.
Yes, so rest in peace to DMX. We're going to put DMX at number four. All right, who should be at number three?
I want to say at number three, man, I gotta put him in there. I mean, it's his accolade and his accolade and accomplishments is beyond me. I'm not even really a big fan of his music, but the guy he is who he is. I want to say Eminem.
Ah, yes, the Slim Shady representing Detroit, 8 Mile section. Eminem. He made his debut back in 1999, discovered by Dr. Dre. When I saw that music video came out in 1999 on MTV, he had that song called "Hi, my name is who? My name is who? My name Slim Shady." I was like, I was laughing myself off. He be poking fun at everybody. Everybody from politics to.
Definitely one of the most versatile lyricists I've ever heard.
Yep. And he had other hits, including the Slim Shady and duets with Dr. Dre and many others. So we're going to put Eminem at number three. And by the way, he was the only hip hop artist that won an Oscar for his 2002 movie debut, 8 Mile, that was telling about his story growing up in the 8 Mile section of Detroit, Michigan. So we got to put Eminem at number three. All right, who should be at number two?
Um, I want to stay at number two as far as I'm gonna go. I'm gonna revert from the music and just go on accomplishments, but music propelling these people. I gotta say Jay Z. I mean, this man is look where he's at now. Like he's a name everywhere that everybody knows. Like if I was ever given a chance to have that type of movement or pressure in the music business, I would definitely want it to be somewhat like Jay Z's influence. Not to just say Jay Z, but have his type of mobility and movement in the music game is extraordinary.
All right, we'll put Jay Z in there representing the Marcy Projects of Brooklyn, New York. Jay Z came on the scene back in the early 2000s. He had some hits back then, duets with so many collaborations, including Foxy Brown and Beyonce, just to name a few.
He knows how to take someone else's music and make it better than what they did.
Yes, and he'll be best remembered for his top 10 hit, Empire State of Mind, duet with Alicia Keys. When that song came out around 2014, 2013, you had the New York Yankees going into the playoffs, so everybody was playing that song. And he even be there at every Yankee game and the Knicks game too. So he's best there for all of it, everything. So we'll put Jay Z at number two, and yes, been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we gotta put Jay Z at number two. All right, who should be at number one?
All right, man, this is crazy. And for the people that's watching my live right now, y'all don't throw sticks and stones afterwards, but I've been watching this man. And when I first got wind of music, and I was like, okay, there's nobody down here where we live that's doing music and getting any kind of recognition. But this man he's been doing it now, and all of his artists that he puts out and puts a push behind, they actually become somebody later on. And all of the artists on his roster that has been there are known people. And he actually does a whole lot of stuff, besides music for his community and his town that he lives in or whatever. So I want to say Jay Prince.
Okay, we'll put him there at number one. I may not know who that person is, but we'll put him up there.
Wait, I gotta stop you. Jay Prince, Rap a Lot Records owner, mogul.
Ah, okay. We'll put him that too. Rapper, record mogul, you name it. And Jay Prince, yes, we'll put him there at number one. So there you have it, folks. It's the Black Soul Music Experience Top 10 Hip Hop Artists of All Time. Well, Mahim, it's a pleasure to have you here on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. It's been a pleasure talking with you, although we had a little technical difficulties, but we just kept rolling. So, as we always say, the show must go on.
The show must go on.
Thank you so much for taking the time out with me, and continued success in whatever you're doing.
I will try, man. I will try. That's all I can say I can do right now.
Okay, now before we go, Where can we follow you for any upcoming events, and where can we follow you on social media?
It's Mayheme Shahid on all social media and music platforms.
Okay, be sure to look for this brother right here, Mayheme Shahid. He's on all the platforms, and be sure to look for his songs coming soon. And we'll wish him the best. And
I have an EP. I have an EP dropping called Bipolar Love.
okay, well, look for that real soon. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this interview, please subscribe by going to the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget to add the S at the end, dash studio. And if you have a hard time getting on to riverside.fm, then please become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Go to the Patreon homepage and type in the name of my podcast, the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And yes, we will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and also on Patreon. And please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience Podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel Wilson Jr.'s studio. And don't forget to check out my audio podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And also check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Visit facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And you can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66. As always, parting, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless. Thanks for listening, have a good week, and please be safe.